Just last week, the Police Service Commission has directed the Nigeria Police Force to conduct further investigation into the allegations leveled against suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Kyari. The commission asked the police to carry out the fresh probe with a different panel. This new development was announced by the spokesperson of the commission, Kyari. It also directed that the report of the investigation should be suspended in 2 weeks. The Federal Bureau of Investigation in July 2019 revealed how Kyari allegedly collaborated with self-confessed international fraudster Hush Puppy to jail one of the latter's associates after a dispute over a scam worth $1.1 million on Qatari business individuals. Kyari, however, denied the allegation, claiming that his hands are clean. Okay, Lawrence Alobi, a retired commissioner of police and a lawyer, joins us now for more on this development. Thanks very much, Kompo, for coming to Newsnight. A new development, would say, and since Kyari was suspended, investigation is still ongoing. That's quite strange.
Yeah, the point is that you don't rush investigation, like you don't rush trial. You know, if you, like you said, justice delayed, justice denied, and justice rushed, justice crashed too. I think the police taking their time, the police service commission also taking their time, and there are procedures in which when an officer was gone contrary to the ethics of the professional rules of engagement, officers normally there is a panel, disciplinary committee, for disciplinary committee headed by the DIG, and for junior rank like inspectors have what they call orderly room trial. Thereafter,
the orderly room trials are usually very swift and fast, and they deal with it, dismiss erring police officers immediately.
Yeah, I think
so. So why is this taking time?
Because of the complex nature of the matter. I think so. But I think I'm sure at the end justice will be done, because nobody is happy with what has happened. Nobody wants to keep an officer who brings shame to the institution, and it's been investigated. So I think action is being taken, and I'm sure in the next few months thereabout they will conclude action on that. So that doesn't mean that he's being shielded. Nobody's shielding him at all.
Yeah, but this has really brought a sad point, to the reputation of the Nigeria police. I know you've had the sterling officers and men who have performed and are still performing very creditably well. But this one is one stain that seems to, make the whole basket of apple go rotten.
You see, there's no institution that has made of angels. Even among the 12 disciples of Christ, there was a Judas. And that doesn't mean that the whole Christendom are all corrupt and betrayal of their masters and so forth. But the point is that they are like, no, human beings are imperfect, and there are some elements, even in the family you have some deviance. But that doesn't mean that every other person is a criminal. Like I did when I watched Leonard Silk, mention that police institution is a rogue institution. I was embarrassed because I didn't imagine Leonard Silk or such an exalted position in the legal profession describing a whole institution as rogue. I can't imagine, because that is a criminal deformation of character of the entire institution, and it breaches section 391, 392 of the penal code, and that is it's not. I don't expect an Elender Silk, who ought to know better, to have make such a comment. The whole institution of the young police force, making it a rogue institution. I'm happy that you alluded to the fact that when police go outside the shores of this country, they excel. I was in charge of federal operations. I was supervising peace operations in this country for five years. And we excel when we go out. Why is it that Nigerian police force is seen as the worst institution?
Tell us. I mean, you've been through different formations of the Nigeria police, and I remember your last was being a commissioner in the Federal Capital Territories, and you were commissioner of federal operations.
Sure.
So what is the institutional problem of the police? We'll return to the Kyari story later.
Yeah, in fact, it is systematic. If you look at how the police evolved to be an institution today, from the colonial era to the military and today, Not the colonial era. The colonial masters established the police just to serve the colonial interests. That's why it was there to brutalize the people. The people were not allowed to enforce their rights, and they were that is repressive policing, where human rights have been abused and so forth. And they saw that it was just master protection, but the police were there to protect the interests of the British government. And in now, not too long, we got independence. Our political leaders also inherited the same attitude of seeing the police as protecting the regime.
There wasn't any debriefing when the British police officers were leaving, because the standard of policing in the 60s, in the First Republic, even in the 70s when the colonialists had left, was rated very highly.
No, the police in this country, the police are doing very well. The point is that the society in which we are operating is a defective society that is toxic. It does not appreciate the police. The people are consistently, systematically trying to destroy the police. And that is why they rob the police of their powers. For instance, today you saw this same television, where in India, the Indian police were destroying narcotics. But here in Nigeria, who is handling narcotics? It's a different agency. All police powers have been eroded systematically to destroy the police, to ensure that the police is impotent. And in any society where the police is not well catered for, not well trained and empowered and given the capacity to perform, the society suffers. That's why today we have this insecurity. Insofar as Nigerian police force is not being catered for, not being given enablement to perform optimally, Nigeria will continue to face insecurity and there will be no peace.
And you said it's systematic? Because I know the police, it's either metamorphosed or some other agencies have metamorphosed, have come out of it, like the NSO, former Nigerian Security Organization.
Which used to be special branch.
Which used to be special branch, yes. And you've had the Civil Defense coming out of it, NDLA coming out of it, EFCC coming out of it.
This is all to weaken the powers of the police. This is deliberate and systematic. And that is why we are now seeing what is happening. If, for instance, in a tree, you begin to erode the taproot of a tree. The taproot of the tree is the one that holds everything about the tree. If you now begin to weaken the taproot, what are you doing? You are destroying the tree. Insofar as the government and people of this country, some persons, are systematically destroying the police, the Nigerians are the ones who suffer. When the police are effective, the citizens benefit. And when the police are not effective, the citizens suffer. But now there's a systematic effort by some people to destroy the police. It erodes you.
Is this systematic?
It's systematic.
Is this systematic with the FBI report, which is very copious, against Abba Kyari?
No, Abba is an individual.
Yes,
it's an individual.
But he represents an institution.
Yeah, you see, the point
I represent an institution, of course, as a journalist.
Yes, that doesn't mean that if you have, by your action or inaction, you offend the ethics of this organization. It doesn't mean that the whole Arise TV will be addressed, be generalized like you are, like you. No, they don't generalize. So what I don't care what's generalizing. It's wrong. You don't generalize. It's an individual. It's an individual.
What should the police authorities be doing now? Because the Police Service Commission, which is in charge of recruitment, promotion, discipline, and the rest, has the hierarchy of the police institution to, within 2 weeks, conclude investigation on this matter. Don't you think it is really dragging too much? The evidence are there. By an independent security agency of another country. What more do you want to investigate?
No, we will not depend. We don't see with the eye of other institutions. We see with our own eye through our own investigation.
But there are collaborations.
There are collaboration and cooperation. I agree with you. But they want to take everything, make it to be a holistic investigation. Like I said, you don't rush investigation. You don't rush the law or trial. Justice. You don't write justice because you want to give report and rush without taking painstakingly to ensure that you make sure the investigation is thorough and is also transparent and is holistic and ensure that the purpose of the investigation is being carried out. So you see, the point is that what Nigerians don't seem to understand, like Section 24E provides that it concerns you to every Nigerian citizen to assist agency in maintaining of law and order. But what some of us think that tongue lashing the police will get applause. Section 45 of the Constitution says that freedom of expression is restricted. Instead of when that freedom of expression begins to is a threat to defense, public morality, public health, law and order, and the right and freedom of other persons. So this statement by the Alene Sale, who said police is a rogue institution, it is inciting. For instance, do you know that the Southwest, South and Southeast, young men refuse to go for recruitment because these kind of things. People believe in what they hear.
Why was that? Because that seems to be a very big problem.
People believe in what they see and hear. Some people who are so gullible and all informed, believe every policeman is a rogue. That is not acceptable at all. So I think he owes the Nigerian police an apology.
Probably,
and I hope that the IG has taken judicial notice of that his action, because that is not acceptable. You don't come and condemn the entire institution that they are all rogues. It's not acceptable. In law, it is criminal defamation of character, which contravenes section 391, 392, and 393 of the Penal Code. And it's if I'm guilty under section 293, it's 2 years imprisonment. So
is the police branding enough? Very quickly, our time is up.
The police.
Is the police
I know that there's trust deficit about the police, but I said it started from colonial to the military.
Why don't we try and just isolate the colonial period and talk of
the military?
The modern period.
You see, the point is that those who were in power and they don't the military are still in power today, and some of them the one who wants to isolate the police from political control. So it is only when the police and the IG know that they should be given freedom to do their duties, and they should also assert their position. Because for me, I am the IG. I will not tolerate this kind of statement from this Adekoke who made this statement. If I were the IG, I will not take it from him.
You send your men to arrest him?
Of course, I've sent to arrest him under prosecute that section 39(2) of the Penal Code.
Thank you so very much. Compol Lawrence Alobi, a retired commissioner of police in the FCT and a lawyer.
Thank you very much for having me.